Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's me coming at you again with another vid. It appears that Alex Leapai, the Australian Samoan heavyweight, has retired from the sport of boxing. And he announced this a few days ago. And the reason why he announced his retirement because he was told that if he had continued to fight, if he resumed his career, he would have risked blindness in his right eye. Um, So, obviously in a situation like that, when you get a medical advice like that, it is very, very discouraging given the fact that you feel that you have plenty left in your career. And, so yeah, it's a devastating blow, but needless to say, Leopai can't enjoy his retirement and, you know, spend, the rest of his life with his family, perhaps open up a gym, train other fighters, which he can do because he does have, you know, some clout when it comes to the Australian boxing scene. And guide those fighters to a world title level, like he was able to get one shot at the world title against Vladimir Klitschko 2 years ago. Um, which he is only known for at this point, but also he was somewhat known for. He did come to the come to rise on the scene after he had shockingly defeated Denis Bardasov in a WBO title eliminator, which some people felt that was a mild upset because a lot of odd makers had suggested that Bardasov was going to run through Leapai, but it didn't turn out to be that way, and he beat him in a unanimous decision, which earned him a shot at Vladimir Klitschko. And there was also some backlash on that title fight before the title fight because a lot of people felt that Kubrat Pulev was more deserving of a shot than Leapai. But ultimately Pulev did get a shot later in that year. People felt that Vladimir was blatantly ducking Pulev. So anyhow, before the Betasov fight, Leapai had only had two significant wins. They're not exactly significant, but they're notable wins. One against Travis Walker, which he had TKO'd Walker in the I think it was the fourth round of the fight, I believe, or fifth, or something around that neighborhood. But a lot of people disputed that TKO because Walker was outpointing him in that round and outboxing him. When I say outboxing, yeah, he was outpointing him, throwing some heavy shots at Leapai. And Leapai came back in resurging of flurry of punches. And then the referee decided to step in and stop the fight. And which was controversial because some people's servers felt that Walker should have had a chance to try to recover from those flurries, and they felt that Leapai was saved from being knocked out by Travis Walker because again, Walker was outpointing him and beating him up in that fight. So it is what it is. And then he got a shot at Kevin Johnson a few fights later. He got knocked out by Johnson, which was a pretty good fight, but he got knocked out. And then, then after the Bardasov fight, he had, once again, after mentioning, got a shot at Klitschko. And, a lot of people feel that, he's remembered by the Klitschko fight, but he's also remembered by the fact, if you guys recall, there was a press conference that took place. I think it was the second or first press conference when the fight, well, actually the first press conference when the fight was being announced. Bert Bunter, which is Klitschko's manager by K2 and whatnot, and Leapai's entourage and manager and trainer were there at the press conference to attend, to promote the fight, whatnot. And guess who interrupted the press conference? Let's go, champ! Shannon Briggs, the cannon. He comes in there and he start making, he was making disparaging remarks towards Leapai, disrespecting him, calling him a bum, saying that you a bum, and he had taunted Klitschko and told him that, why are you fighting pies? Referred to Leapai, calling him a pie. You a pie. He's a pie. You a pie. And then, Leapai got upset and he threatened to, fight Shannon Briggs at the press conference, which we all know that was all staged, given the fact that Briggs was just, trying to undermine, Leapai's, spotlight by trying to, propagate himself to get a title shot. Which some people felt that Klitschko was in and on it as well, which I believed. But looking into that fight, total mismatch. Very, very, very terrible mismatch. I mean, Leapai did have no business being in the ring with Klitschko, but hey, he did win the eliminator against Dennis Bedasov. He became the mandatory, and Klitschko took the fight. And you can't fault him for that. He got knocked out in the 5th round, I believe. So it is what it is. And the thing about Leapai is that he was a very, very limited heavyweight. He didn't really have skill whatsoever. He was a crew fighter, yes, but he just had no technique. He was just winging shots left to right. He would just come forward a lot, and he would just stand right in front of you, which is not, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. What I'm saying is just you apply some technique, put some combination in those punches, but he just always winging shots, and he just felt that he would get lucky throwing those wild shots and it'll eventually connect, which he did have some success in his career doing early on. But after that, he did get a shot at Malik Scott. Malik Scott outpointed him in his backyard in 10 rounds, unanimously. And then he took a fight with Manuel Char, which was his last fight last May. And from what I've read before the Manuel Char fight and after the Malik Scott fight, there were reports that he was supposed to fight Joseph Parker. I heard Parker's team wanted to set up a fight between Leapai and Parker. Now, correct me if I'm wrong about this, my Kiwi subscribers, and let me know that's true, because from what I've read, Leapai ducked the fight with Parker because he felt that Parker was a dangerous risk for him to take, given the fact that he was trying to get himself back into the world title picture. But I'll post a link to the article below. It was written by Phil Lutton of the Sydney Morning Herald, and he called Lee Scott a journeyman after Leapai lost to him, which I totally disagree with that assessment. But I mean, it is what it is. But if Parker and Leapai were to actually have fought, believe me, Leapai would have got smoked, and I could see why he ducked Parker. Not saying that I condone it, because I don't like when people duck fighters. I mean, goddamn, I always believe that fighters always challenge themselves. But if they ducked a person and blatantly admit why they duck them, then yeah, I can respect them. And I don't like when a fighter says I ducked him because the money wasn't there. That's bullshit. It's not always about the money. It's always about the risk that you don't want to take. So yeah, I'll post a link to that article below, and you guys let me know what you think about this. Again, enlighten me on that situation about the Leapai and Joseph Parker situation. Yeah, let me know what you think about the Alex Leapai retirement. Again, most of you guys may not know who he is. Just take a look at the Vladimir Klitschko fight. In fact, take a look at the Manuel Char fights too. See, then you'll see what I'm talking about. And take a look at the Travis